All right, what's up? Going to be talking about two features that I think would really benefit the game overall today in terms of quality of life and that sort of stuff. So start off, when you do go into the summon portal here, if you do have over 100 green orbs, you get to do a 10 times summon at once, which really speeds up the cash out method for orbs, speeds up the monster obtaining method, and is overall very, very good at making the game less tedious to play, right? Except you have the same sort of feature with summoning monsters with gems, except this doesn't have this sort of summon 10 times feature. And I think this really makes like cashing out your gems really difficult, right? I understand that rolling with a lot of gems is not something that's very common, as there are better uses for it, but I think after a certain point of grinding, especially if you do have access to ×2 gems, it just becomes like way too pointless to hold on to hundreds and thousands of gems, which you can't really spend in the challenges in a efficient way, right? You're still going to be left with hundreds of thousands even after doing like a week of grinding out challenges. Challenges don't really drain a lot of gems when you have a lot saved up from farming stuff like JR, farming your classic levels, and some challenges even give back more gems than they take, right? I've noticed that after grinding some amount of IQT, I got back more gems than I actually put into it. I ended up going like up 2,000 gems or something after a day or so of farming IQT. So I think adding in a sort of summon 10 times to the gem feature, maybe just summon 20 times, summon 15 times, just something that will make the gem summoning process a lot easier, and it'll just make this sort of cash out method a lot simpler, a lot more efficient, and a lot less tedious. Second feature I want to talk about is this invite friends on Facebook to be able to get rewards feature. This feature is super outdated right now, very tedious to do. I actually have no idea how to do it, honestly, but I think there's a reason why you see a lot of players not doing it, even new players who could benefit a lot from these resources. This amount of gold that it gives you in the entire calendar is easily obtainable in AFK gold, right? Even in the early levels, even if you're just doing King normal, JR normal, you can get way more than this amount of gold just through AFK gold. The gems are not very significant. Teddy is a very easy epic to get. You don't really need to star him up for him to be good. And inviting or going through all the trouble of inviting 20 people who actually need to download the game just to get a Puffy is not worth it either, considering Puffy is not really an ideal carry in the early stages either. And of course, all these rewards are super insignificant in the mid to late game because you can just farm JR and get way more than this in like a day, right? So I think a good change for this would just to be to replace Puffy, maybe even Teddy, with your red mythic gems, right? People like to spend their red mythic gems. They like to go get their mythics. Very important unit, and it would just provide a lot more incentive to be able to use this feature, right? This feature still can help benefit the game, right? You're inviting more players to play. More people are downloading the game. That can help out the game. That can help expose the game to more players. And you know, their idea of trying to do that was to add enticing rewards, but these rewards are not really something that anyone really wants to go for. So just by adding in mythic gems, you don't even need to change all this garbage gold gem orb stuff. Just add in mythic gems and people do it, right? People are willing to watch 100 videos per week just to get their 500 mythic gems. So I'm sure they'd be willing to do the same sort of tedious work to be able to get mythic gems by inviting more people to play the game, which would benefit the exposure of the game. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to talk about today. Just some two quality of life features that I think could really help improve the game overall, make it a lot easier for the people playing it, and make it so that, you know, that invite friends feature is actually useful in some capacity, right? That's gonna be it for this video. Like, subscribe, and yeah, see ya.